Well, we'll give it one more shot. This is its last chance. I have put settings so low into the ground. We're at 30 FPS. We're at 720p on the camera. Dropped the encoder by 2 steps. And so far, so good. So far, so good, if anybody's still here. Oh, man. I'm watching back the actual feed, and it's definitely low quality, but it's workable. Now let's see how it handles me opening two more Google tabs. Okay, I just want to open 2 more tabs. I could pivot to a lighter browser too. But man, this thing is, I don't know. It just is not having a good day. Yeah, you know what? Chrome is eating my memory. That's what's happening. I mean, that's not all that's happening, clearly. Let's see if I can get by with the old Brave. Guess I've got to keep minimized so it keeps working. We'll do it live. We'll troubleshoot it live. Oh no. Oh, FPS is dying left and right. Why would you do this to me? Okay. It's not that bad, computer. You can handle it. I promise. Let's try to pull that up, pull this up, condense that. Do that at 100%. Open that sheet. Now I got to change all my sources. Okay, let's move over here. And I got to reconfigure all my sources. Let's see if I can get that going. Oh, well, thank you for your service. You can go back over here. We will pop back up over here with our low resolution. Bam. Thanks, Logan. This is the adversity, and we will overcome it. Let's see here. Now I should be able to go. This is the character sheet. Oh man, oh so smooth. And the star map. Oh my gosh, professional. Now, for my next trick. Oh, golly. Why did my playlist empty itself? That's a rude thing to do. I did not get the Astroprisma soundtrack over to this computer yet. I failed to do that. But I can at least get Stellar Vendettas going. Because it's a vibe and we like it. And we're going to sort by name and play that and turn that source on. In fact, you should be hearing music now. I believe you should be. No dropped frames. Stream seems steady. We might have a winner here. Okay. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? Good? I hope you're doing good. We're gonna chop this up later and fix it and re-upload it as a video. So all of the, or actually I can just trim the front off in the YouTube studio. So with that said, I was in the middle of explaining. Oh, I should, okay. I gotta, hold on. I gotta do another post that says we're actually back and streaming. These things. Ooh, you get to play Starfinder today. Very good. You playing or running? I thought you're running the beginner's box or something. 2E, I think he's playing. Okay, let's go to here and do an everyone post here. alive. Bam. There. Now everybody knows. Now everybody knows. The only thing that's not working is my little YouTube live control panel, but that thing's kind of useless anyway. Who cares how many people are watching the stream, right? Nobody needs to know that. In-person mega game of 5e. Are you running a portion of the mega game, or are you... That sounds interesting. So you're playing Starfinder, okay. Good. Well, I'm glad you guys have things to look forward to. I have something to look forward to, which is doing this stream. We started off last stream, and we built our ship, and we made our character, and I was saying in an earlier stream that will get deleted because it was tech killed, but I was definitely rushing through the game, and I could feel it, and I was not taking my time to actually build out the world. And speaking of building out the world, I don't have anything set up properly today, so let's get the dice going. They can get there. I don't even have the PDF up, but we're gonna get there together. iPad, you go there, and okay, we got that going. So I went through and I filled out some more details and made it a little more lived in. Our main character, Cadence, is an astromancer gunner, and I went through and I used the actual random generation to generate for her. Hold on. Gotta make this workable. And okay. Don't yell at me, Google. Not in front of my friends. Right on, Hippo. So I rolled in the actual tables of the game to get some more details about Cadence. I know you can't read this on screen, but it is what it is. So I added a few details to her. She is a sociable young woman with a camo jacket who is looking to acquire knowledge. So that gives us at least a little bit of a prompt on where we want to take the decisions that she makes as she encounters situations and goes on forward. There was also the keyword that I generated from the Oracle, which was velocity. So she wants to get things done. She wants to be moving, and she wants to acquire knowledge. We don't know exactly what she wants to acquire knowledge about yet. That might emerge. Possibly she wants to acquire knowledge about whatever the apocalypse was that set society back so hard in the first place. But maybe she wants to align with Medusa and get knowledge about the cybersphere. We don't know yet. So, this part didn't change, but bear with me. The first cell we went to down here, which was a Star Predator ship run by Warg, and I generated this off of the game's tables as well. This is Starship Europa, and they have a mutated chimera monster that ran amok and basically killed everybody because we did not stop to help. Not because we're heartless, but because it would have killed us 100%. And so Cadence, very much with the attitude of, your lack of preparation does not constitute an emergency on my part, went on her way. We then went down one cell here, and we found this planet, which was a ecumenopolis. Basically, the entire planet is a giant city, but it's all abandoned, and there's just stuff everywhere. I generated the name of that planet. That is Tartesso, and the asteroid that's orbiting it, not a full moon, is Lambda Venture. So there are tables for generating names for the satellites. There are tables for generating names for the planets. There are tables for generating names for the starships. And there are tables for generating names for NPCs as well. So there's a lot of tables in this book. And I might even be smart enough to show them to you because I got even more clever and I made a separate overlay for this so that you can still see me and chat and whatever. And I got to fix the camera because I dropped the resolution. So I should be down here. There I am. Although I did not add the music source to this. So that's going to be jarring. Anyway, back down here to tables. There are all sorts of tables, quick reference tables. But I think it's, where is it? Here. So you have planet names with a D100. You have satellite names, which are a combination of 2D20 rolls, settlement names, NPC generator. This is where I grabbed Cadence's emotion tag and her look. Just little jumping off points to get you to kind of feel out a character. You can roll for a character's like emotional reaction to something. So if you want to see kind of how they are responding to your approach or whatever, that's here as well. You can use that to inform you. And then, yeah, if you need to roll for random faction things, you can do so. There's a lot, and this is a great table as well. NPC requests. If you find yourself engaging with an NPC and you think, let's see if they need or want something, you can roll on this entire table here, and that'll tell you, oh, they want a kinetic engine to upgrade their old neon blade. So now you have a specific item you're trying to go find. Or if you just stumble across it, you have in your notes, hey, this person back on this planet wanted this kinetic engine modifier. And then that can go towards building an affinity with that NPC, and then that can eventually lead to them joining your crew. So it's all very cool. All very cool. And let's go back to here. And then the music will come back. And in the meantime, I will go back here and I will add that source. If I remember how. So the next time we come over there, we will retain the music. Although it's fighting me. I can figure this out. I've figured a bunch of other stuff out today. Okay. Turn off studio mode, and we're back. You never left, but I'm back. So we left this ship to their own devices, and Europa, we left them to their own devices. Came down to Tartesso. That's where we explored the giant planet-wide city and found our little friend Owo, who's right here in the chat box with us. Owo is our combat mech drone thing that is piloted by a basically new age Tamagotchi operating system. So we love Owo. Owo's going to kind of carry us, I think. We continued on. We came down here and we found another warg ship, the Endeavor, and they were headed off to the front line of a conflict, and we generated randomly a couple elements of what that might be. So we decided that they are heading off to disrupt a Medusa-run propaganda machine. So they were asking for supplies, and if we were to trade any of those supplies, we would get some favor with them back. So that is what we did. We gave them a laser rifle that was of no use to us mechanically. It does not fit our build at all, and got some favor with them instead. Next, we came on down here to find a settlement. So this is a settlement run by ISF. Now, ISF, I don't think I gave the full scope on. They are called the Intersolar Federation, and they are kind of like the last gasp of order in the universe. They were like the traders and the business people and the scientists that are trying to hold what's left of society together. But they're kind of rigid, and they're also kind of the space police and so everything that comes along with that. I did generate a few story beats for this settlement. Its name is Leo Oath. And the keyword I got from the Oracle was control, which was perfectly fitting for ISF. So I wrote, ISF isn't my usual vibe. They're not my unusual vibe either, but out here in the stars, you take whatever refuge you can find. I find they're more interested in keeping things status quo. Their rules, their way. Sure, they employ scientists and intellectuals, but I don't buy that they're interested in trying anything new. Terraform seeds? We've tried that. And then this is an excerpt from the book. It says, built from the last remnants of the galactic empires that ruled the universe before the apocalypse, the Intersolar Federation is the de facto trade authority in this universe. And then I copy-pasted something wrong here. So I gotta fix that because that doesn't make any sense. We're gonna cut that and put it down here where it goes. So while at the ISF settlement, we decided to go into the cybersphere. And quick reminder, if you guys weren't here for that, this is what the cybersphere pages look like in the book. There's a 2-page spread. just oozing with style. So we ended up going into Cyber Map 3, and we almost didn't make it out because of all the things that we ran into. So I wrote, I'm cash strapped and looking for opportunities to get ahead. That means cybersphere. I head up the closest cyber lounge and jack into the network looking for an edge. It goes all right to start. Some annoying pop-up ads that slow me down. Bunch of nonsense about products, half of which don't exist anymore. Just junk left behind in the data stream. One catches my eye. A nature ad. Well, a travel ad. But to me, it spells out wonder. I've never seen places like the Hollow shows. Waterfalls and trees that reach over a lagoon, smiling couples flinging themselves off a rope swing into the waters below. It's sensory overload. And longing. I turn away. My feet lead me away. You don't need feet here, but the self-conception is powerful. Hard to imagine yourself as just a ball of light, but the ones who can do it move faster than shit. I'll get there someday, I bet. There's a data cache ahead, and I'm here for that edge after all. Not sure how these packets drifted so far off course, but it's coordinates. And it's wrapped in warg headers, an attack site, intel. Good for me to know, good for me to sell, or use to get out of a jam. I log the information in my cortex and move along. I hit on another cache. Robust encryption, jackpot. Teasing out the threads of data, I walk away with a new hack parasite ability. That's definitely going to come in handy. And now, we're caught up to the now. And we get to decide what we want to do next. So, we just spent 5 energy to go into the cybersphere. We could do a test flight in the settlement to up our chances of surviving a space encounter, which is probably a good idea. So let me pull that up if I can find it. Here it is. Once per cycle, you may spend 3 energy to choose one of the following training exercises to perform. So we could do a speed race and roll our grace, which is 1, or we could do a combat drill and roll our vigor, which is 0. We are not built for this. Luckily, there's no real consequence if you fail. You just spend the energy, so... and I'm going to have to actually remind myself of how contested rolls go. I think tie goes to defender. So not us. We need to beat in order to win. It's probably worth confirming, though. It's probably worth confirming. Stats and rolls. Challenge rolls. So challenge rolls are the main mechanism of the game for all your interactions, combats, things like that. So some interactions or events will require a challenge roll to be resolved. Roll 2 10-sided die, the player die and the challenge die. Add your relevant stat and the opponent's. If the result of the player die is higher, you succeed. So we do need to beat to win. If you are rolling against the environment or without an opponent, in this case we don't have an opponent, you don't add stats to the challenge die. So it'll just be a flat D10. We'll be D10 plus 1, it'll be D10, but we have to beat, so we're basically 50-50. That's the truth there. So let's see what we come up with. We'll try and do a test flight. And we got a 10, and they got a 9, so we win. So it's just that easy. Now I've got a little notes thing I'm keeping track of up here. We know the known next attack for warg, and we also now have, what do we have? Go back to the settlement, and we go first for the next 2 battles. That's going to be very helpful. Yeah. Well, we would have won without the +1. We had 10 to their 9. But yeah, it was definitely close. The math is tight. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we want to do. Anything else we want to do in the settlement? Do be the back we are. Wise. I don't think we really have anything to sell. We don't have any money still. We literally have 0 money. So we're not buying anything, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I should be more clear. We got a natural 10 on that. We don't have anything to sell. We didn't fight anything in the cybersphere. We got to drop our energy to 12. And I do need to decide which sheet I'm going to track this stuff on, because it's kind of silly to track it on both. What else? Well, at this point, there's the question of, do we want to share any of the information we have with ISF? Either the fact that Europa is drifting out there with a dead crew, or do we want to give them the fact that we know Warg's next attack coordinates? We currently have one favor with Warg, but this is kind of an off-the-books kind of a thing, so they won't find out. They won't know if we do that. And the question would be, what's in it for us? If I were to do that, I would basically generate an NPC, an ISF officer that's stationed here at this settlement, and then we could potentially work to earn favor with them or pick up jobs from them. I'm not feeling like Cadence is big on ISF, not only just because of what I wrote about them, but also her core vibe is just, she's an astromancer hacker type. She's out to acquire knowledge. She doesn't think that they're actually in the pursuit of actual knowledge. So I think that's not going to happen. I don't think we're going to run any sort of scene work here on Leo Oath. But we might consider, or date them. Just give it time, Logan. I assume I'm unable to not have relationships develop in this game because I've already done it. I had a really cute relationship story in my first playthrough of this. I should pull that back up and write it up sometime. But I think I mentioned that last stream as well. We could pick up a side quest. And we could choose, I think, right? Let me make sure about this. Side quests are short missions that build reputation. You gain their trust. Okay, so this is interesting. I did this wrong in the past. You can only do side quests for the faction that is in the place that you're in. So we could only do ISF side quests, which would give us favor with ISF. And fine, but I don't think in character Cadence is feeling it. So I think she's just wanting to move on. Look. There's a multi-hundred post long discussion on the Knights of Last Call Discord about romance and or relationships in RPGs. And that topic will be, I will make a full stream out of that at some point, but basically it boils down to this. I'm trying to embody real people. I want them to feel real to me, And real people get in relationships or friendships or romantic relationships or whatever. That's what they do. And so it seems weird to me to almost not have that be a factor. I don't know. That's just my take on it. That's my abbreviated take. The 3-hour version will be coming sometime in the future. So okay, I don't think we're doing a side quest. I don't think we're gonna go spill the beans about Warg to anybody. Yeah, it's always been a dating sim. Always has been. So let's decide where we want to go. We can go back up. We'll call it north, just for the ease of streaming communication. We could go back north, and we could go to Lambda Venture, the asteroid moon that's orbiting Tartesso. Or we could go off in a new direction. We could go along the outer ring here, or back into the middle ring. The nice thing about going to the middle ring is we're still just one space away from hitting up Lambda Venture if we want to continue that way. So I think that's the way I'm leaning to. Logan loves the game way more if it feels alive, and having those kind of relationships make it feel that way to me. Right. It's there's this thing in gaming where it's just let's simulate this entire world. Even if you're not a simulationist game, let's emulate, let's whatever. Let's embody this fiction. And then, but this whole thing that's a part of everyday life for people, let's just not touch that. And I get why. I understand why. There's people who are oh, it's cringe, oh, it's awkward, oh, it's whatever. It's okay, we're talking about groups and tables, or when you're playing solo. When you're playing solo, you got a high trust rate with yourself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely feels more real to me when real type things happen. So I'm saying we're going to go over here. So that is what we're going to do. And we're going to drop our fuel down by 1. It should be down to 15 now, because we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, down to 15 fuel. And again, I just need to pick which of these trackers I want to use. Here we are. It's time to do an exploration roll. If you recall, an exploration roll, you basically roll a d6 and then as many more d6s as you need to drill down into what the thing is. I found that with the exception of planets that have a lot of moons, 5d6 will always give you enough dice to do it in one go. So that is what I do. And I just line them up really quickly so I don't have a bias, because 6s in some contexts are very dangerous, so you gotta be careful about that. Let's see. We are in the middle ring. So let's come on over here. And there. We're in the middle ring, and we got a 1, which gives us another settlement. So now we need a d10 to see whom it is. It should be who it is, not whom. I know better than that. It's a 10. I think that's the synth arc. I think it is the synth arc. I'll pull it up on my iPad if it'll cooperate. Please. Give me the bookmarks tab. Thank you. Settlements. 10 is the synth arc. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. This is this faction that we have not done anything with yet. Let's grab ourselves another settlement. Slide it on over here. And line that bad boy up. Drop it down to the background. And let's get us out of the way, because we're going to need to name this thing. And grab this flag. And we're going to read about these guys live here in a second, because, oops, I forgot my paste in here. Pardon the flashing screen nonsense. Oh, never mind. You guys can't see what I'm doing anyway. Haha, good. When we come back, it'll just be there. All right, let's generate a name for this place. Somewhere, random tables. Where did you go? Settlement names, 2d20. It is a 14 and a 3, which gives us Ursa Dome. Kind of an interesting name. Boldface that. Bam. Done. And here we are. We're in another settlement. Maybe a settlement we might want to take a job from. But let's find out. We still can't refuel the ship. Our energy does go back up to 15. It goes up 3 every cycle. So let me come over here. We're going to start tracking this stuff properly. We are in cycle 5. We are in the middle ring. And if Tartessa was 13, this is 12. So we got settlement, synth arc. I don't know if it's arc or arch, and I will probably screw that up the entire time we play this game. I can't make up my mind. Ursa Dome. And I'm just going to say this seems to be a densely populated area of space. You guys are still not seeing what I'm doing because I'm a silly. Once again, we find ourselves in a nearby settlement. This time run by the synth arc. Right on. Give me 1 second here to check something. Okay, cool. I'm glad we got everything working, and I'm glad you guys hung in there with me, because I'm having fun, and I'm just grateful that you put up with all that nonsense. Okay, so let's go to the synth arc on the factions area. We'll tell you guys a little bit about them. The synth arc is a quasi-religious, once again, not switching the scene. Here we go. The synth arc is a quasi-religious organization made up of androids and transhumanists seeking to surpass their limitations and reach a higher understanding of the universe, humanity, and the future. Faction goals. The impressive achievements accomplished by the human race during the previous era were built off the backs of android labor. Ooh, I didn't remember that detail from past playthroughs. Advanced neural networks were developed to control these androids and enable them to compute data, pilot ships, manufacture items, and even fight wars. With the fall of the old world, most of these machines perished, needing repairs or commands to follow. But some of these survivors developed neural mutations, allowing them to reach superintelligence. These gifted androids became known as synth apostles and developed a new code of morals and ethics to replace the factory limitations of other androids. They formed the Synth Arc with the goal of liberating androids and transcending human and robotic limitations. They're kind of cool. They're kind of cool. I didn't realize or remember, and it's maybe because I never read this paragraph, that basically, yeah, the old world was built off of their labor. Yeah, they're like, isn't this kind of like, I'll get this wrong, isn't this kind of Warforged coded? Somebody will know. Yeah, so it's kind of Blade Runner, replicants kind of a little bit. Anyway, they seem kind of neat. How would Cadence think of them? I think that based off of what we know about her so far, she's looking to acquire knowledge. I think she'd be interested in the fact that they're trying to basically rewrite the ethical moral code because they've been on the bad side of it. So I think she probably finds them interesting, which means we might pick up a job here. It's kind of what I'm leaning to. It's kind of what I'm leaning to. We could get locked out here, though, because one of these quests says retrieve a tesseract from a Helios farm and offer it to the settlement's prophet, which is fine. That's all good and well. But we don't have a Helios farm on the map yet. And you could say, well, I'm going to put a Helios farm on the map because I'm taking this quest. But that's an individual player decision. A lot of the designers' comments on this game are basically like, this is a game of do whatever you want, and when you don't know what you want, refer to the rules. So it's not meant to be a rules first thing, but I do like the constraints. So, what else is going on? Let's talk about how Cadence feels about the Synth Arc. I don't think she's had much interaction with them, but the Synth Arc as a group fascinates me. Nobody can deny the hardship that androids and artificial life have gone through these past few centuries. As I look for a place and a family to call home, I could do worse, I think, and just leave it up in the air. And I think we're going to take a job, so let's do it. 1d6, and we've got a 4, which means we are supposed to gain 60 scraps by dismantling items and equipment and offer them to the Ark. Okay, so we'll just dismantle Owo, and then we'll get this quest done. Waiting for the screams. We're not going to dismantle Owo over my dead body. Okay. We're still hard up for cash, actually. Yeah, there's the frowny face. I'm kidding, Hippo. I would never. Are you trying to cause a riot? Listen, I know what's bringing people to the channel, and it's Owo. It ain't me. It's Owo. I would never shoot myself in the foot like that. Still hard up for cash. I look for a chance to get some work. There's a cell of the apostles, let's just say, that need help with some raw materials. I look over what I have to convert into scrap for them, but it's slim pickings. I'll have to keep this in mind as I come across new oportunidades. And there we have it. So we picked up the quest. I'm going to track that over here. Bring 60 scraps by dismantling equipment and offer it to the arch. Now, it is being very prescriptive here. It is telling us that we need to dismantle equipment and offer it to them. It does not tell us to just get 60 scraps however we want and offer it to them. So I'm going to honor the spirit of the request. Ooh, hold on. Doing crazy things with my mouse. I'm going to honor the spirit of the request, and I'm going to do it by dismantling equipment right there at the settlement. I'm not just going to say, oh, we came across 60 scraps. That's fine, right? No, because scraps are an abstraction, right? This story prompt is telling us that they need scraps from equipment. So you could think of like, oh, they want you to dismantle guns, and they want you to dismantle weapon mods, and they want you to dismantle starship parts or whatever. They don't just want raw scraps. So we will honor that as we go out into the stars to try and find some stuff. Okay, so strategically now, we have set ourselves up to go out to Lambda Venture Moon and then snake back up to the northeast without kind of doing any unnecessary backtracking. So I think that's where we're going to head next. If we're lucky, we'll find some equipment there, and we can just pop right back around to Ursa Dome, sell it off, and get ourselves a faction point with the Synth Arc. Or something might happen, and we might just not care anymore, and then just leave that quest undone. Let's restart the playlist here. Okay. There, now it's working right. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to do. Maybe we'll actually fight something one of these days. So let's fly up here. Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Here's your song for the day. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Okay, let's go see what Lambda Venture holds for us. We are landing. We are landing on a moon, and we are seeing what happens on a moon. So we got 2d6. That's how that works. And we got a 1 and a 4. Thank God it's not a 6. Because I'm telling you guys, you do not want to see 6s come up in the early game. Okay, so we're on an asteroid. Asteroids are minor planets of varying sizes. Composed of rocks, metal, and even ice, there are hundreds of thousands of unexplored asteroids in the system, making them the perfect spot for illegal activity. Space pirate hideouts are commonly located in large asteroid formations. So our landing site here says that there is a military laser turret hidden in a small rocky asteroid. The weapon has run out of power. So that's just fluff. We are in cycle 6 now. We are in middle 13, and we are visiting. I'm just going to copy this. I highlighted that in blue. Oh, you're not seeing this. Sorry. I highlighted this in blue up here to remind me that we needed to explore it still. So we can clear that. And here we are at Lambda Venture, and we got a 1 and a 4. In case we ever need to reference back to what happened here. So I'll write this up a little bit, and then I'll read it to you. And I'll not do the awkward thing where I read it as I'm writing it. All right, so I said heading out of Ursa Dome, I'm curious to see what the asteroid around Tartesso holds. On approach, the first thing I notice is a military laser turret, nothing I particularly want to mess with. Luckily, onboard scanners indicate that it's without power, and I'm safe to approach the surface. I'm also curious whose laser military turret this is. So that, I believe, belongs to Warg, if I remember the numbers right. No, it belongs to Medusa. So this is an interesting development. All right, once I make landing, I explore the turret itself. It's of an older technology, maybe even pre-apocalypse. Medusa. I'll keep it in mind if it'll ever be relevant again. Maybe with the right tools instead of hands, I could retrofit this bad boy to be mounted to the SlipShot. But for now, I need something more immediate, more portable. I did name the ship, by the way, the SlipShot. I just had that image of, we have a shield build where we're lining up our shot, deflecting hits, and then doing one big shot. That's kind of the idea I have for the ship, so I named it. Okay, let's see what the 4 gets us. I'm going to go to the asteroid page together. And we've got, this is a good start. Storage silo. All right. You follow a series of marks on the asteroid's surface belonging to a dual-tracked cargo vehicle. The trail ends at the entrance to a man-made cave, most likely from a previous mining operation. We're going to presume this is Medusa as well. That doesn't sound like them, but because the turret was Medusa, and it goes from where we landed. The light of your flashlight guides you through the dark cavern until you reach a rectangular-shaped facility made out of light steel panels. Inside, a number of spacecraft parts are stored in tall shelves. You conclude that the building must have been used as a hidden storage silo during wartime operations. You find a set of ion engines. Whether or not we need those, we can dismantle them for scrap, and we can go get favor with Synthark if we want to. But let's, it's an engine, right? So it's not going to be able to go on the ship sheet right immediately, but we're going to put it in the cargo bay. And then let's find out what those things do, because that's pretty cool. Spaceship, spaceship, spaceship. Modules. Oh man, they're tier 3. So right now we have quad reactor. Roll 3d6 action dice every turn. We just found roll 3d6 action dice every turn. Also, you have an extra action die during your first combat turn. Also, because we did that test flight, our next 2 fights we go first. So we're going to be rolling 4 action dice in our first round of the next 2 combats. So I'm thinking we turn around, we go back to Ursa Dome, we get somebody to mount these new engines for us. We're going to sell the old engines for scrap, fulfill that quest, and then we're back on our way out to the stars. We might even be able to part out... Ooh, I wonder if I can split it. Well, but we need 60 scraps, so we're only going to have 2 serum left over, even if I do it that way. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. You can take equipment, and you can either sell it for money, or you can convert it into scraps, depending on what you need. So this is not going to help us with our money or our fuel problem. We still have no money. But if we get desperate, we'll sell like that grenade, and we'll buy a tiny amount of fuel or something. Maybe we'll just do that this trip. Because we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by the time we come back here. By the time we come back to Ursa Dome, we're down to 13 fuel. And not a fight to be seen in this campaign yet. We are lucky. Oh, I forgot. We started the game with 50 scraps. But again, I wouldn't use that to fulfill this quest. It's not in the spirit of the prompt. All right, let's go down here. We're going to help Google. Why? We're going to delete our little star here because that's not needed anymore. Actually, we're not. We're going to move it so we can use it later. I'll just keep you down here. All right. Sounds like a good plan to Hippo. Sounds like a good plan to me. Let's upgrade our ship. Let's do it right now. Ion. What are they? Ion reactors? Ion engines. Oh, they're right up on the screen for me. So all I have to do is add, you have an extra action die during your first combat turn. This also incentivizes us to think about methods that get us acting first more often than not. So we can do more test flights whenever we hit settlements. We can always do that, but we can also prioritize other ship parts we might come across that will help us do that better. Okay. So ion engines go out of the cargo hold. We are selling the quad reactor for scraps. So let's come back over here. Wait, scraps on this sheet? No, they're not. They're not their own inventory thing. So we're going to go up temporarily to 112. Because we're selling the we're selling the quad reactor. which is a 125 scrap purchase. So you sell it for half, you get 62.5, round down 62. So we're at 112 for a minute, and then we're going to give 60 of it back to the synth arc, and we're down to 52 scraps. Okay. Let's see here. Formatting. I want these in all caps. Okay. Which means we can scratch this quest off of our board. Bam, there. And come over here, and we now have one favor with SynthArc. And I also track it here, because I'm a crazy person. All right. Also, let's see. We went down 5, down 3 to 12. We went up to 15, up to 18, back up to 20. So energy should be full. Which I think I have up here. Okay, full energy. All right. Let's also, while we're here, sell this taser shell grenade that I don't think we're going to use because we're not a vigor build. All the grenades require vigor, which is your kind of your strength stat, or your, it's your vigor. So we're not really going to be using grenades much. I think that sells for 25. Let's go find it in equipment. Next page, taser shell. Retails for 20, so we sell it for 10. We're going to go up to 10, and we're going to buy 3 fuel at 3 apiece, which is going to drop us to 1. And we can now go back up to 16 fuel again. A little more comfortable. You don't want to run out of fuel. That reminds me too. What is our special ability? Oh, I didn't log any of this stuff here. Whoops. Anybody remember what we are? Gunner, right? Shit, I forgot to put that in the sheet. Where are you, Rolls? I know you're here somewhere. Where's the Rolls page? There it is. Our passive ability is the Starship weapons deal +1 extra damage. Perfect. And we can't buy any additional abilities because we have 0 experience points. We got no money, no experience. Well, we got 1 money. I think I'm going to decide probably, I'm leaning towards tracking it on the sheet, not the map. We'll get there. Figure out how we want to run this thing. Okay. Let's write this up a little bit. See, we got to finish our little exploration of Lambda Venture. And actually, it's spelled out so nicely in the prompt, I'm probably just going to copy it. If I can find it again. If only the formatting would copy over better. There. Another thing is, this would be an excellent little hideout for us if we ever need to hide. That hidden storage silo. Very cool. Very, very cool. We're getting a lot of good luck with the stuff we're finding in this game. Oh, we got to rebuild the ship now too. Let's do that. All right, these engines, actually we gotta ungroup this bad boy. Are you ungrouped now? No, there you go. Delete those engines, and we gotta pick up, where are they? They are here. So we'll copy these guys over. This ship was like perfectly designed for these things too. Look at this. Boom. Right there and right there. Let's align you guys vertically with each other and get the spacing right. Close enough. Two point oh. Goodbye, old ship. Now we're rolling. Upgrades is right. Upgrades is right. All right, there's one beverage gone. Let's see. Now we're in cycle 7. We came back to here. And then I'm going to do a little writing and a little reading. So enjoy the tunes while I do that. All right. So I wrote, it doesn't take long for me to score another cache of useful goods, whatever gods there are left out there. They seem to be smiling on me lately. A new set of engines is nothing to scoff at. Well, new being relative. Whatever group operated out of here in the past, presumably Medusa, they left more than just these behind. But I note the location as a potential refuge if I'm ever in a tight spot and need to lay low. Maybe in such a case I can even restore that military laser turret, or at least put a blinking light on it so people think it's operational. The trip back to Ursa Dome is uneventful and quiet. Owo sits in the cargo bay, waiting for deployment. I check in on them from time to time, but whatever they're trying to use is incomprehensible to me. Anyway, it's nice to have someone to talk to. The hangar workers at Synth Arc are quick hands, and they have my new engines installed on the SlipShot in remarkable time. I offer the apostles the scrap from my former rig, and they accept gratefully. Making some inroads. No telling where they'll lead. No, that is the wrong button. Okay. I think we're caught up. I think we've done all of our admin stuff on that little cycle, which means we get to ask ourselves a couple questions. Do we want to pick up another side quest with Synth Arc, potentially getting us to 2 favor and then allowing us to incorporate into their faction? Or do we want to go out into the stars a little bit further? I'm leaning towards going out. I kind of want to see more where Cadence is feeling based on different stimulus to see how she might feel about Synth Arc or other factions before committing to one at this stage. So that's my thinking. So then the question becomes, where go? Where goes the SlipShot? We can go south, north. Let's think strategically here. There's nothing immediately around us to be explored. If we don't get this hex directly below us now, we can pick it up if we swoop back in from another angle. Or maybe it just makes sense to clear it now so that we're not trying to pick it up later. One of the win conditions of this game, or I guess the win condition, is you're supposed to fill out the entire star map. And you are supposed to complete your faction's level 10, whatever you call it, mission. So one way or another, we're going to need to pick up that hex, and it probably just makes sense to do it right now. Plus, we're next to 2 settlements, so if we get anything there that requires us to talk to ISF or Synth, we're already right on the spot. Right on, Hippo. I'm with you. Go out into the stars and find yourself. So, I'm thinking we head south, down here, and see what awaits us, and whether or not something will try to kill us finally. There's 4d6, 5d6. Here we go. This is the good song for this. Okay, there's a 6 at the tail end of this dice chain, which is scary. That is scary. But we might just run away from whatever it is if it comes to that. Outer ring. Get the outer ring page going up there. So we got a 6. Okay, it's a faction encounter. So now we got to figure out with whom. 4. I think 4 is Warg. So we don't need most of these dice, actually. Factions. 4 is Warg. Okay, this is a Warg-heavy space out here. And we got a 3, which we are going to use because we're still neutral. Actually, we're not neutral with Warg. We're actually positive with Warg. But this only cares if you're negative, then basically you're getting into a fight. But since we're not, we're going to take this 3, which is our next die, and this is our prompt. The cockpit of a Duskwing fighter is scarred with laser cuts and bullet holes. The ship has barely survived a battle against a much larger ISF mothership because we are right next to the ISF settlement. Its mechanic asks for your help. They have sustained significant... Don't ask me for scraps. They have sustained significant damage to their navigation sensors, and she fears they may stop working soon. You may try to help by spending 15 scraps. Well, we have them. 15's not bad. Then we can roll a tech check. On a success, we use spare metal parts to weld the connectors. We get +1 favor. Failure, the navigation system is 2 damage for you to repair. Lose 3 energy. This is going to be a cool moment because we have a ship captain here. We know her gender from this, and that means it's actually time to put an actual NPC in the game. And then we're also gonna, there's no reason for us to not give the scraps, because the chance of getting +1 favor with warg is always good. If nothing else, it keeps you from sliding backwards into negative with them. So. I say we use the scraps. That would take us down to 37. NPC. Let's see. What kind of ship is she in? She's in a Duskwing. I think I mentioned this before too, but you can literally build these ships exactly as they are because they're the actual modules. Duskwing. Oh, this is a small little fighter. She might not even have much of a crew. I think it's a small fighter. There isn't like lore on the ships themselves. In fact, I think there is a table. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here. Give me my reward token. Bam. I think, you know what else I used to do? I need to do this. Sorry, bear with me, because on the second slide here, yeah, there's empty tiles. I want to be using those. What kind of color are we missing here? And every ship we found so far has been warg. Maybe we'll just give... Well, I want to use these for hostile, I think is how I used to do it. Green was... Maybe I'll do green for, like, positive, blue for neutral, red for hostile. So we'll do that. Oh, Google, calm down. All right, so we need 3 of these. That'll just help us get a little more atmosphere here. By the way, I think I mentioned this. I know I mentioned it in the Discord. But the thumbnail image I used for today's thumbnail is this 3D print file that you can download, where you can print out the little tiles of this game, and it looks awesome. It looks really cool. Okay, we got to give this ship a name. Why are these all rotated? That's bizarre. I'm going to find out that I did something terrible and rotated the entire thing, aren't I? No? No? Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Why is this rotated again? Is it not rotated and I'm like losing my mind right now? Okay, that's an optical illusion, I think. Anyway, let's get a name for this ship here. Ship names, I think, are... Oh, I have it up right here. Perfect. Ship names are D66. Which, by the way, miniature rant, if you have a D66 table and people tell you, oh, you can just switch the numbers around. No, you can't. No, you cannot, because doubles come up half as much if that's the case. Do you know what I mean? Like, as far as possibilities. D66 tables must be read in the order of the dice. Unless they say explicitly otherwise. 2-4. This is the sisterhood. Oh, I love it already. Did Cadence just find a sister in the stars? Why? What's happening? Where's my brain going? Where's my font size? There you are. I will say that this choice of blue is terrible for reading this font. So I might switch that out for something else. And it's the sisterhood, not the sisterhood. Goodness gracious. Sorry, blue tiles. You had a brief moment in the sun, and it was not meant to be. You think the grid is crooked? That's very possible. I'm just surprised I never noticed it before. Let's grab this green one and see if this works good. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, Now, who is this pilot that we have just encountered with her damage navigation stuff? I guess let's see if we fix it first. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's tripping me out. It's tripping me out. It's like really clear when you have a... Oh yeah, you know what it is? It's the actual like dot matrix of these is what's creating that optical illusion. That's what it is 100%. Weird. Anyway. So guys, check this out. Because I just spontaneously remembered. Oh, is this a tech roll or a mind roll? Hold on. Oh, it's a tech roll. Dang it. We have these stratagen hormones in our inventory that you can use, and it will give you a +1 until the next cycle. So if we had the hormone that gave us a +1 to tech, we could use that right now to give us a better chance to repair this ship. All right, moment of truth. Can we fix it? Our die is a 9, which is good. And the challenge die is a 2. So we have fixed this lady's ship. Oh, baby. But will they date? That's the real question. Okay, we got a lot to log here. We are in cycle 8. We are in cell outer. Where's Leo Oath? Leo Oath is sitting on 28, which makes this 27. And our results were faction, warg, 3. That's all we need to put, right? Oh, I guess I could. Yeah. I'm trying to be consistent with how I log this stuff. Super fix it. It's a critical fix. Okay, what else did I want to put here? Duskwing ship, whose name is Sisterhood. I wonder if she wants to make our own faction. Let's make our own faction. New NPC friend. Let's go to the... No, stop. Stop. iPad, no. Let's go to the female names table. Feminine names table. That is a distinction that matters. 51 is Pearl. Her name is Pearl. All right, let's give her some traits from these tables. She's with Warg. We're going to roll for her trade on the d20s. So we got a 9. So she is a first settler. Interesting. Her general emotional thing is caring. And one element of her look is a lab coat. Could be scientist girlfriend, just saying. Just saying. Maybe not. All right, so let's get to the narration of this. So we just left Ursa Dome with our new engines. And I think I might, again, just copy the prompt. So I'm not just redoing work. This is also probably going to impact how we feel about ISF. Oh, it says right here it's a fighter. It's a fighter ship, so it's not. I mean, I could see why they attacked it, but she's probably alone. No, she's not. Okay, wait. She's the mechanic. So they have some sort of crew here. Guys, yeah, you're killing me. You guys are half driving this campaign, so, you know. So she's in a lab coat, but she's a mechanic, and I find that an interesting. Have you published anything lately? Oh man. What does this say about her? Either they are having people that are cross trained because of they just need to send whoever they can send. So she's fulfilling this mechanic role on this ship, or there's a story there where oh, I don't have my fill light on today. I also don't have my curtains drawn. I don't know. There's something here. Let's ask the Oracle, because I don't want to sit here stumped on this for too long. 2-5. The Oracle. Put it on screen just so you guys get more familiar with it. Where is it? It's in chapter 1. And let's go like this. This. What am I doing? And this. D Priest, you're gonna make me blush. Did I say 2 and 5? That's the order I have them in here. So the keyword here is vengeance. Oh, that's spicy. That is spicy. Also just learned that I can change scenes with my keyboard. That was an accident. So vengeance is the word, huh? She needs somebody to help avenge something? We're not doing anything right now. Might be available to help with some vengeance. Okay. Now we're going to do the quiet part where I write and think and then read it back to you. So, stay tuned. Okay, not done, but it occurred to me that we can do a little thing called Ask the Oracle if there's any attraction here. So, sorry guys, it's the fate of the dice. 4, yes, but. Okay, I can work with that. Vengeance comes first. Yeah, that's basically what I'm writing. Oh, guys, you're bringing out the worst in me. Just the absolute worst. Okay. I said about... Let's actually get to fixing the ship now that I'm done writing that part. Oh, man. Okay, this is going to get really good. Okay, this is how we get... Okay. This is going to get really good. Because remember what we have? We have the coordinates of Warg's next attack location. And based off of what I just wrote, I think that Cadence is going to let them know, hey, I found this out there. You should be a little more careful with... where your data gets sent to and from. Mm-hmm. Or do we roll the Oracle for that? Well, let me finish this. I'll read it to you guys, and then we'll decide as a group. That's what we'll do. A couple things we can roll for, actually. All right. So Cadence says, I'm no fan of war, of fighting. I just want the truth of this world, however many others I can find out. Seeing the damage to this ship sends me into a white-hot rage, one I temper with the knowledge that the Sisterhood, as she's called, is a fighter ship after all. Nobody's as innocent as they first appear. Pearl, the mechanic, seems particularly invested in Warg's mission statement. There's something of vengeance to her, and I'm immediately curious as to what it may be. It's not a flattering sort of fire, unfortunately. But there's a part of me I didn't expect, that wants to see what she's like when that part of her is quenched, satisfied. Just the loneliness of space talking. Probably. Nothing at all to do with how that lab coat hugs her frame. I set about repairing the ship's navigation sensors with what I have on hand. I may not be a mechanic by trade, but every now and then you know just that little bit of information that comes in clutch. The crew shows me their gratitude, inform me that they'll be sending my name up in thanks to Warg. I'm grateful, but I also know I have something in my back pocket they don't know I have, the coordinates of their next attack. So, a couple things I want to find out. Number one, who is the target of that attack? So if I roll for that, and it's ISF, then probably going to give that information up. If it's any of the others, I'll say if it's, Cadence still hasn't interacted with Medusa, so even though ideologically they might be aligned, there's really nothing in the story to justify why she would protect them. It's really a question of, does she want to further embed herself with Warg? And is she actually Twitter-pated enough with Pearl, this mechanic she just met, to maybe do something reckless and give up some leverage or advantage that she has? So yeah, I'm going to first roll to see what faction the target of the attack is. If we did this last week, I don't remember, so we'll just redo it. 7, I think, is that Corsair? Or 7 Medusa. It's probably Medusa. It is. Oh, baby, it's ISF. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to continue writing then, because I think that's... ISF just blew this ship up. And Cadence doesn't really like them in the first place. Hippo, you're so happy. Oh, man. Right on, Logan. We'll let you know how the vengeance goes. Can't I have just a little bit of vengeance? No, it's far too vengeful. Okay. So, I left off by saying I know I have something in my back pocket they don't know I have, the coordinates of their next attack. I also know the target, ISF, and I'm not particularly interested in helping them out after seeing their handiwork on the Sisterhood. Before leaving, I pull Pearl aside. Hey, I say. I'm not really sure how to... I pulled this out of the sphere, I continue, and hand her a small data chip. You should maybe have your leadership do an investigation, see who's being careless with their data transfers. I wiped it from the site, and I debate lying. Pearl sees my hesitation. You were holding onto it for leverage, she says. I grimace a little. Maybe, yeah. I'm still learning who to trust. She holds the data disk like a precious commodity, reaches out for my arm. There's that fire in her eyes, the one that kind of ruins the moment. I understand. I'll be sure someone runs a trace and plugs the leak. Thank you. And then we'll blow the bastards to kingdom come. I wince again. Maybe we'll cross paths again, I say. After, I say to myself. Maybe, she says. And then there's a smile that mostly unruins the fervor. I'm in danger. Oh, the way I'm writing her, I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to happen there. But we'll find out. I got to put her now on the connections sheet. Pearl. Location. Mechanic on the Sisterhood. Warg. Affinity is at a 1 out of 3. I'm giving her an affinity point there for... I'm in danger yet. I'm giving her an affinity point... excuse me. Giving an affinity point for giving up that data that we had. So I'm going to delete that from the sheet. We don't have that anymore in our back pocket. Delete, delete, delete. And what else do we want to say about Pearl here? Pearl is a vengeful lab technician turned ship mechanic. Why? Question mark. And we'll answer that sometime later. Maybe. Or maybe never again. We'll never know. Okay. And that is the first, roleplay scene that we've had in the campaign so far. So I hope you all found that interesting and engaging to see how that stuff develops using the oracles and so on. Let's see. I keep forgetting how much fuel I'm supposed to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're down to 13. We bought 3, so we should be at 16. And we are. Good. I tracked it right. Okay. Now, Owo needs to do something because he's in the thumbnail. If he doesn't do anything, then I've been falsely advertising. Owo's got to take the wheel. It is clear to me that we are going to this cell next. If Google doesn't jump me around. Let's put Sisterhood in the middle here. So, what's going on now? We got to drop our fuel. Oh, and I posted also in the Discord, somebody asked a question on the Kickstarter page, and Crescent Chimera, the creator, did indicate that they do have a partner working on a digital version of this game. There's a lot of third-party actual tools to run this game. I just didn't have the time or patience to try and learn them. I just wanted to get into it, so is what it is. Fuel. Also, our scraps are out of date here. How many scraps do we have left? 37. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to refill my drinks, and I will be back in just a second. But enjoy the vibes as we go back to the Be Right Back page, and I'll be with you soon. We're back, and even with the microphone unmuted. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Okay. We did forget, I forgot, we all forgot to up our faction with Warg to 2. Now, this does trigger something in the rules that I will show you in a second once I update this. When you get to 2 favor, faction, favor, whatever you call it. Is it called favor? I think so. Oh, it's right here on the screen. It says faction favor. Let's zoom in on this, and I will read it straight from the rules because I was already on the right page. Favor represents your reputation and social standing. Once you reach 2 favor with a faction, you may join them by playing through their first faction event. If you join a faction and your favor drops below 2, you are expelled from it. After completing the first faction event, if you have not yet discovered the location of that faction's settlement, place the settlement on the unexplored tile with the lowest hex number. So, a little bit of meta here. We can do this mission. And I've done this mission before, and I think we're supposed to go fight some dudes, so we'll actually have a combat. And then after that, we get to place the Warg settlement right here, because this is hex number 1. So we will then know that we have a safe harbor up in this portion of the map, and we can kind of more safely explore that direction. We can start to come up here to the north and then dip back towards Europa and back up. So here's some advantages to that, and we don't have to stay in the faction forever if we don't want to, although generally that is kind of the gameplay that you're going for. So here's what we would be getting if we decided to accept this, basically this broadcast. It's called a rush of adrenaline, and let's put it on screen for a change. There we go. We know who you are. If you want to join our cause, you must first prove your worth. 2 tiles south. The cryptic message appeared in your inbox a few minutes ago. You find a dry dwarf planet at that location described in the message. I knew you'd come. A young woman stands behind you menacingly, resting her arms on the barrel of a pulse rifle. I have a good eye for recruits. I'll be relaying your missions from now on. She draws a proud smile on her lips before handing you a gravity rifle and 3 frag grenades. Your initiation begins now. She points her finger at an abandoned cargo storage facility turned into an ISF outpost. 2 ISF soldiers guard the entrance. She gives you the order to attack, and we will take -1 favor with ISF. So, there's a decent amount at stake here. We cannot put anything 2 tiles south. And so there are rules for that. Basically, if you would be placing something, actually, okay, let's back up. Because if I'm still here when I get that transmission, which I'm going to say I'm not, 2 tiles south would be off the map. And so you basically go to the nearest thing to it, which would put it right here. So we can make that decision now, or we can do a raw exploration roll here first. And then that would put the dwarf planet here, and then that would put the Warg settlement here. So, it would definitely get Owo going. We'd get to see Owo in action. You know what? Let's make good stream content, and let's pick up the mission. We'll go to this dwarf planet, and we'll go murk some suckers with our combat drone. Does that sound fun to everybody? Sounds fun to me. Oh, man. Okay. Let's get our fuel to go down to 14. You'd love to see it. Oh, whoa, in action. So we got fuel taken care of. We know already that we're going to have a dwarf planet. Do they use the small planet tile for that? Or is there a dwarf planet? There are a couple extra variants here. I think it must just be the small planet. Let me check briefly the ring sheets. See if any of them call out a dwarf planet specifically. No, not in the outer ring. Not in the inner ring. Or the middle, I mean. And not in the inner. So I guess that we're just going to call it a small planet. Yeah, we do. We won't be able to go back to that settlement ever again, but we don't really care, I don't think. ISF is the only place that you can buy armor, though. So if I had money before I would accept this mission, then I would go buy some armor, and then we would go fight them with the armor we just bought from them. But we don't have any money. We have one serum. So that's probably fine. Plus, we're not playing campaign mode. That's where it would be really dangerous, because they have an ability in campaign mode that's they get to control every single cell around their settlements or any planets that they control. Which means space is a very hostile place. If you want to fight a lot of ISF guys, that's how you do it. Okay, let me go back to... Well, I'm not going back to it because you guys are already there. Let's put a small planet on the map. Zoop. Try and line this up better than I have been. Okay. So we're going to need to name this place. We're going to need to do a bunch of little things here. So let's get a planet name going. Back to the tables. Random tables. Planet names is a D100. Where's my other D10? There you are. 36. 36 planet name is Icarus. This green is really not great for this text color either. But I'm stubborn. If nothing else, I'm stubborn. Okay, so we got a dry dwarf planet, it said. And I'm going to take that to heart as well, because we can come back and explore this place separately. If we want. This will count as an explored tile for the game rules purposes, but we can go back and actually go to the planet. So let's actually put our little star here so we remember that for later. It is a dry dwarf planet. So that could be one of two planet types. We'll go there briefly. Planets. Because we have the... Well, we'll see if they both fit or just one. The Gaian planets are dry and rocky, with sand deserts taking up most of their surface. And the Calorian planets are rocky and barren. One of the hardest environments in the universe. Regular earthquakes, etc. So they're both quite dry. Let me check the wording again, see if it links. I don't know if there's alcohol on any of these planets. Not even the city planet. Well, actually, there's probably some good stuff that's been fermenting for a while on the abandoned city planets. That's for sure. Let me go back here. Just double check the wording again. A dry dwarf planet. That's all it says, huh? I'm thinking Gaian. I would roll for it, but it does sound more Gaian planet than not. So, okay. We are in cycle 9. Excuse me. We are in outer 26. So we've got we got a planet, and it is a Gaian, and it is going to be unexplored for now. Even though we are going to touch on the surface, we're not going to explore it. And meanwhile, we have our faction event Warg 2. You must be joking. There's no way. There's no way. Maybe there are dwarves there, you know? Why not? Maybe there's a subterranean dwarf thing going on. I love that. Oh, that tickled me. It is a small planet, let's say. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Okay. I got a little bit of writing to do here because we need to receive the message, have my reaction to the message, which means it's a great time to get the music started again because it stopped. Okay. All right, I'll be back with news from the starships in just a minute. All right, we're back. This is a lengthy setup. I'm barely out of the neighboring space where I met the Sisterhood when my comms light up. We know who you are. If you want to join our cause, you must first prove your worth. 1 quadrant over. I asked the Oracle briefly, do I know this message is from Warg? And I got a yes, but. So I said, I recognize the transmission as that of Warg, but there's still a bit of doubt that creeps in. Who's to say someone hasn't co-opted or hijacked their communication channels? Either way, I don't think I've pissed anyone off enough to lure me into a trap, so that kind of takes the edge off my doubts. Still, am I ready to get conscripted into some sort of Warg-led war? I look at my diminishing fuel once more. I'm loaded to the gills with tech, with weaponry. Owo makes a chittering noise at the back of the cargo bay, just a stone's throw from the cockpit. I look back at him. You want to see some action, buddy? I ask. As usual, I can't understand him, but his faceplate lights up green and then red as his little face shakes back and forth. I laugh. All right, killer. Let's go make some friends, money, or both. And then here's the prompt. She gives you the order to attack, I say. What'd they do? I ask, trying to preserve a little bit of humanity in myself. I didn't ask, and I'm not thrilled that you are. But if you think ISF are innocents, I've got news for you, lady. I shake my head. I've heard enough stories, seen people pulled out of settlements, out of homes. I understand what they're trying to do. Can't say I like how they do it. Well then, she says, and gestures again to the storage unit. I gear up and move out. Hey Alejandra, how are you doing? This game and this channel are a perfect fit in vibe. Yeah, thank you. This channel was partly inspired by this game, if I'm honest. I was playing this game solo over the last year a little bit, and it really gets very, very close to the perfect sci-fi game for me, which is that I want it to be an exploration. I want you to be the first one on the scene. I want you to be the one who's kind of navigating a difficult world, but not someplace that's so built out that it's all known and there's hyperlight transit everywhere. And this just kind of has that, like, I don't know. I mean, as we've been looking at Legend in the Mist, right? There's the rustic fantasy. It almost makes me wonder if there isn't some sort of conception of a rustic sci-fi. It doesn't translate one-to-one, not even close. But there's something to like that fragile, vulnerable kind of exploration. But again, like I said in a previous stream, I'm not interested in sci-fi where you're tracking rations, right? Like, we're far enough in the future that we're not asking in these mechanics either. Like, does Cadence have food on the ship? It's like, we're not going to worry about if she has food on the ship. We're going to worry about if she has fuel. But, yeah. So, thanks for dropping in. It's always good to see you. Cool. So, we are going into, finally, our very first ever combat in this game. And I have a little combat sheet that I made when I set this up. And again, this is not the best for visuals for you guys. I'm sorry. But this is how I track it. We basically are going to have... put the ISF soldiers in here. And I don't know why I had these cells merged, so we're going to fix that. So we're going to do initiative rolls, which are D10 plus grace. We're going to see where Cadence and the ISF soldiers land in initiative, and then we're going to start going turn by turn. When we get to the enemies, the enemy sheets have, roll tables. Every enemy has its own roll table, so we will see what they do. Sometimes they roll things that don't actually have a mechanical effect, and it just is what it is. You just breathe a sigh of relief and move on. So we'll see, and we're going to see how our drone works. We're going to get OO in the action. Yeah, it's such a good vibe. I don't even know. It's hard to describe how atmospheric just like even looking through this book is. It's lovely. Yeah, and this music that I'm playing right now is a soundtrack that a friend of mine found when they were doing their playthrough of Astroprisma. So I already knew it was gonna hit. But it's so good. Yeah, I'm really excited for it to come to non-backers because I need to check and see if I am going to be able to get it in print myself. iPad's working out pretty good so far, but yeah. Yeah, it just has that that film grain like aesthetic that she put through the whole book is just incredible. I love it. So let's see. I'm going to have to remember how to do combat. We're going to figure it out together. So here's our initiative roll is it's a 1. And our grace is 1, isn't it? Yeah, we have a 1 for grace. So our initiative is 2. And then this guy got a 7 plus whatever his grace is, and he got a 4 plus whatever his grace is, but it doesn't matter. We're going last. We're going last. So we got Soldier A and Soldier B. They're both going to target me every turn they can. And I can already roll his first attack, because we're going to look it up in a second, what that is. I think I'll probably run... I'll have to think through how I want combats to show up when I stream this, but we'll probably run it from here and pull the enemy up, maybe? I don't know. That's to be figured out. Maybe what I'll do instead... I gotta find this guy first. These generally go in order of faction. Oh, this is cool too. All throughout the book, there's like these little hidden they're not hidden, but there's these little mini tables. Like this one right here is a D20 for enemy appearance that I didn't even know existed until this very second. So if you really want to like flesh out like what these guys look like and everything to do with it, you can fill that in. Again, this is a journaling game to whatever degree you want to take the journaling to. We're gonna just more gamify it though. Little rules about silenced enemies. Where are you, ISF folk? I scrolled right past it, didn't I? Oh, here we are. ISF units and alien life forms on one page. Is that a hint? So we've got ISF soldiers. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do this. Bear with me. This might be how I want to do things. Eye patch as the first option, yeah. Yes, we're all hoping that Cadence does not die in this fight, but we can try to run away. If we have to, we can try to run away. You know what? I should not try and do things like this on the fly. It's not going well for me. Maybe let's get crazy here. Let's get crazy. Let's try and let's try and be creative here. I only really need to show this guy on the screen. So then I will just not touch the PDF from here on out. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we got a 7. Is that... let me make that bigger. I don't know why I made it that small. We got 2 of these guys fighting. And let's put that behind. Like this. All right, not bad. So 7. So they are going to use hack counterspell, silence all enemies for mine turns. Oh my god. That sucks. I think silence means we can't use... I think it means we can't use any techs. And it might mean we can't use drones. So we're going to look that up because that's going to matter. Of course, they have to succeed first. Combat rules. Where does it go? Here we go. Silence. You can't use cyber tech. Never mind, we're fine. We don't have any cyber tech. Stupid ISF soldiers. I don't even know what they're doing. So, let's see. They try to do a hack counterspell. No effect. That's rough, buddy. That's nice, too, because 7 to 9, that's 30% of their actions are not going to do anything to us. Let's see what the second one does. Second one got a 7. I wonder if this is some sort of like ISF protocol. They're like, when you first encounter an enemy, first try to counterspell them. Well, too bad for you guys. Now I have to learn how to deploy Owo. I believe it's a main action. And then in subsequent turns, he can do stuff. But it's been a while. Drones, here we go. Drones are advanced robots and mechs that you can remotely control during combat encounters. Spend a main action during combat to deploy a drone. Once the drone is active, you can use your side action to control it. Controlling the drone lets you choose from one of its abilities to use. Each drone model also has a unique passive ability that takes effect after they are deployed. All right, guys, it's Owo time. Let's get this guy out here. Maybe should I, hold on. Did I copy that on this page? I got angry Owo. They just can't believe you don't have the tech. Yeah. Yep. Good deception roll or something. Okay, so our main action is going to be deploy Owo. Let's do it. And our side action is going to be commanding him to... well, also he has his passive ability, auto turret, deal tech damage every turn. So, tech damage. Our tech is... Anybody know what my tech is? It's 2, right? I need to shorten the names of these sheets so I can flip between them easier. Our tech is 2, yes. So actually, let's go passive, auto turret, 2 damage, 2. Let's take out A first because it doesn't matter. And in our side action, we're going to have Owo. Do we want to do 2d6 plus tech or d8 times tech? How much health do these guys have anyway? I forgot to populate all of our stats. Our health is 20. Our shields are 0. These guys have 3 shield. Yikes. That sucks. That means his auto turret doesn't even damage them. Shields are basically straight damage reduction in the game, so that makes me a little sad. But their HP is 15 apiece. Okay, and their vigor is 2020. 2020, and we are 0132. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do a thing I always do in Google Sheets because it helps me. And that allows me to take these stat lines and shrink them like so. So, I'm not going to, well, This is when it would be good to use that grenade that we just sold. The one that takes their shields away. Oh, I also forgot. We got a pulse rifle and 3 frag grenades from our commanding officer, I guess. Pulse rifle, wasn't it? But we're not going to be using that. We've got better things to do. We got better things to do than all of that. We'll probably just sell all that stuff. Side action, though. Let's go back to Owo. You could probably salvage their armor, but, like, no. Like, there's too many enemies with too much stuff. I tend to only pick up what the game tells me I can pick up, which is, you know, through discovery or whatever. There's no, like, looting enemies. So, I guess it's just a question of, do I want to risk doing a floor of 2 damage or a floor of 4 damage? And the ceiling on this is, well, my average is going to be 9. My ceiling is going to be 14, whereas my ceiling on Missile Strike is 16. I think Missile Strike is better if we get our tech up, but I think we're going to go double minigun. Yeah. They didn't expect the giant robot. That's for sure. Oh, man. So let's go double minigun. And that's going to do 2d6 plus tech. It's like we're playing PBTA up in here. Okay, 3 and a 3, below average, but we can survive it. 8 damage. -3 for the shield, which means he only does 5. Dang it. Sorry, I forgot my notation on how I usually write this stuff up. 3 plus 3 plus 2 minus 3 equals 5. So anyway, I took out a third of his health. That's not bad. I'm not great in this game as far as a journaling game of like post-fight, like writing up, this is what the fight looked like. Those of you that know me are probably not surprised by that at all. I'm not all about like, and then the guns shot out from behind the rock and whatever. It's just like, I want to tell stories about meeting girls in lab coats on revolutionary ships, you know? That's just who I am. Let's get these guys going. See what they have for us. A 6, which is the plasma shield. So that's D8 plus vigor. There's no D8. There it is. My vigor's 2. So this is not good, actually. Oh, no. It's an 8. Oh, God. Oh, we're at half health. Girls in lab coats over firing bullets any day. Any day. It's not about firing bullets. It's about what you fire bullets for, as Derek would say. We're in trouble, guys, because if this next soldier also does 10 damage to us, then we are officially knocked out and need to roll for the Abyssal Scars to see if the campaign's over. Luckily, you can use 2 side actions, so I could do a health pack on myself and command OO next turn, but we have to survive that long first, so let's see. That's an 8, which means they waste his turn. Oh, God. Oh, man. There's some element to this combat that has never made me more on the edge of my seat in my life. Like, it is very swingy, but you have the tools to, like, stabilize if you can. But sometimes it'll get away from you, like, fast, like, as you just saw. Because we don't want to... So, this is the other thing. I said this in the first stream. I think this game expects you to evaluate the math and look at the odds. So when I'm looking at this ISF soldier stat block, they only have one ability that does damage. That's on a 3 to 6, which means 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have a 40% chance of them doing 3 to 10 damage. And there's 2 of them that we're fighting. So do I want to risk going through this turn without healing up and sitting at 10 health? No, because technically there's a chance that they can kill me from full health this encounter. So it's not something you want to play with. And sometimes you have to make that call, but you really have to sit here and study and think through the math. It is a tactical game in that aspect, and I 100% think that you're expected to play this way. Otherwise, if you were sloppy with this, you'd get killed so fast. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use a side action to use a health pack, which restores, I think, D10 plus vigor. Oh, I have it here too. Health pack, D10 plus vigor, yeah. And this might not even be enough to get us feeling good. So let's see. It would be really nice to have some hyperdrive in this fight. Okay, I got a 5, so we're healing 5. Next question is, do I use a main action to use a hack on these guys, or do I use my main action as a side action and have OO try and blast away again? Let's look at our hacks really quick. Let's deduct 1 health pack here. Oops. There we go. Nothing else there will help me. I also need to deduct my energy. I don't think I'm going to go through all my energy this fight, though. Okay, so Javelin does D12 plus Mind. Breached enemies take double damage. I need to check, because I forgot. I don't think hacks bypass armor. You would think that they would, but I think it's just set up. It's like, hey, look, to make the game work, they don't bypass armor. Let me find it. We also haven't seen this yet, but if I fail a mind hack, or if I fail a hack, I have to roll on the malware table, so it can actually like hurt us. What do frag grenades do? Would they be useful? Yeah, let's think about that. So the problem is that when I'm rolling for a frag grenade, I'm rolling a d10 plus my vigor, which is 0. So I'm rolling a flat d10. They're going to be rolling a d10 plus 2 to counter, and I have to beat it. So that means that their floor is 3 and mine is 1. So I need to get net 3 higher than them on their die. If I got that, it would then do damage to both of them. But their armor would resist it, and so it's just grenades in general are not great for us because we have a 0 vigor. If we had narcobiotics to punch up our vigor to try to do that, we could do that. But I will say though, it does make sense that we would have used one of our strategen hormones before this fight. So we're going to do that retroactively because there's absolutely no reason we would not have done that. You can do this outside of combat because it applies for the whole cycle. So our mind is currently at a 4, which makes it very likely that our hacks will land. Okay, let's remember this too. Our hack parasite we got, breach all enemies for mind turns, which would be 4 turns, and restore 2 health for each enemy affected. This would heal us another 4, and they would be breached. And then Javelin will do double damage to any breached enemy. So that's seeming like the good play here. But I do want to find out, I do want to find the armor rules. I know it's in here somewhere too, and it's like not where you would expect. Shoot, maybe it's in combat mechanics. Weapon mods, direct damage. Bear with me, sorry. Status conditions. I guess we could always just see if it'll matter. That's one thing we could do. I don't know where else it would show up if not here. Yeah. I'm 90% sure that I remember from playing this in the past that armored blocks everything. I just really do want to find where it says that. Because we're going to be doing a lot of hacks in this playthrough, so it's going to matter. It's not there, it's not there. It just says when you take combat damage, subtract your armor value, and it doesn't specify what combat damage is. So I believe it just means damage in a combat. So that's how I'm going to play it. If we find out differently later, then I guess good for us. Okay, so let's get back to my combat sheet, and we are going to do hack parasite. Now I could just outright fail this. That would suck. So when you're going against multiple enemies, you take the highest value for the challenge die to see if it's actually successful. You're not rolling to hit multiple ACs, for example. So we're gonna do. Oh, they have a 2 in their mind too. Dang it. So we have a 4, and they have a 2. So we got decent odds here that we're gonna land this. Uh-oh. Okay, guys. We rolled a 1. Plus 4 is 5. They rolled a 2. Plus 2 is 4. So we succeeded on a 1. Oh, this game. doesn't need to go this hard. So because there are 2 enemies affected, we're restoring 2 health for each one. I'm watching the chat roll in now too, so I'm seeing a delayed reaction. It's okay, Hippo. We pulled it off. We got a 1 + 4V, 2 + 2. Success. They are both now breached. Until round, so it will be 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're breached until round 6 is, I think, how I used to notate that. I did. I drew it out for dramatic effect, and it's just who I am, Hippo. I'm sorry. That's who I am. Okay. Hack Parasite, though, does not deal any damage. It just sets us up for next turn. And I think we should be able to survive another turn, right? We should survive another turn, surely. These guys are not the brightest. They keep trying to turn off my cyber tech that I don't have. 4 is the plasma shield, though, so that's scary. Let's also roll what the next guy does, because we don't get to respond anyway. 9. This guy's not getting it. And I kind of love him for that. I love that for us. He's just not getting it. His buddy is probably like, stop. She doesn't have any cyber tech. He's like, maybe it's just failing. Oh, you know what else I screwed up? Every time that they rolled this, I was not rolling to see if they succeeded or not. But technically, on a failure, they would have to roll on the malware table. Why is the tech called shield? It's literally like a laser shield that you can ram into people. We can get it too someday if we want. It actually increases your armor 1, and it gives you a D8 plus vigor attack. So it's a nice piece of equipment for the right character. All right, let's roll for the damage. That's better. A 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. And now we're back down to 13. Still a little spoopy there. But we're about to hack the crap out of them, so... Okay. Okay. This is going our way. We just gotta breathe it out. Oh, here's the other thing Breach does. I forgot to tell you guys. When the enemy is breached, you do not have to roll to hit with hacks, because you're already in to their like neural whatever. Here's how they say. Oh, it's on the other page. Here's the description for hacking. Hacks are powerful abilities that make use of your character's mind to break into the enemy systems, to damage or disrupt them in some way. If you win, the hack is successfully uploaded to their virtual interface and the effect takes place. So you're literally hacking their brains. So main action, we are going to hack Javelin a fool. And also I gotta be tracking my energy here, because we used Parasite, that was 3. Javelin's another 1. Oa's used 4. So we've got plenty. But I should be tracking it. Our energy is currently... I just did all the math and I didn't listen to myself. I think I'm at 12 after this. So Javelin is going to do D12 plus Mind. Breached enemies take double damage. So our Mind right now is 4. And so that's an auto kill on Soldier A. The question is, do I want to swing for Soldier B and try to take him down from 15? And I got to remember their armor. So to get 15 damage to this guy, I would need to deal 18, which would be my number would need to be 9, backing out the 4 from Mind, which means I need to roll a 5 or above. So I have a 60% chance of wiping Soldier B, and I would rather just go for the almost sure thing and go for Soldier A. So that's what I'm going to do. Soldier A, here comes your damage, buddy. Oh, it's a D12, isn't it? Hold on. Get the D12 out. And I got the 5, so we got 5 plus 4 times 2 minus 3 equals 15. And this guy is Gonzo. Goodbye, Soldier A. And now, Owo gets to jump on the scene. And we're going to go double minigun again. It was D6s, wasn't it? Yeah. Here come the miniguns. Okay, that's a better roll. Good job, Owo. We got 5 plus 5 plus 2 minus 3 equals whatever that equals. 9. So this guy is also in bad shape, and he cannot kill me this turn. So this fight is over. Because he's gone. Soldier A is dead. So he's going to try and do something. And he rolls a 3, which means he does his plasma shield. Just going to give me some extra damage before I walk away with this like a jerk. Plasma shield is D8. And he rolls a 1 because all the fight has gone out of him. So we're at 10 health. Not bad. Also, we can swing by Ursa Dome after this and heal. So we don't need to worry about it. Okay. All of my options take energy, but Javelin only takes 1. So let's do that first and see how that fares. Although I think it's an auto kill. Because even if I rolled 1s. What am I rolling? D12? Even if I rolled a 1. I think I got him. But I rolled a 5. So, it's this again. 15 damage to this dude, and he's wiped out. And we've done it. So that is our first combat, guys, in Astroprisma. And that is how it can be, like, really simple and quick. This was 4 rounds of just basically rolling a couple dice here and there. And it was also terrifying. When he first hit for 10, I was like, oh boy. All right. Okay. Let's put Owo back on standby. There we go. Now he's just hanging out in chat. We did it. Now I get to show you guys how to roll for loot and all that stuff. And also, I guess you should look at this, and I can take off. Where is it? There we go. I need 7 more monitors. I really do. And I wonder if it screwed it up over here. It didn't. Good. Good. I'm learning. Okay. We did it. So our energy is now at 11. Our health is at 10. And we'll fix that all up soon. I'm going to probably delete these because I'm just using the sheet. Even though I made them look so cool. The little stats on the map. Not practical. So we actually get experience points now, believe it or not. Let's go over here, in fact, and we will go to the equipment page, and I'll show you guys how that works. Also, let's do, do I have the, okay, sorry, I'm like not finishing any of my sentences. So, after defeating an enemy in combat or after destroying an enemy ship, you can roll for loot. To do so, roll on the loot rewards table to the right. You must roll a number of d6 based on the difficulty of the enemy you have defeated. So, we defeated 2 medium enemies. It does not show it here, but I just realized something very elegant. There's somewhere else in the book where it says, oh, easy is 1 experience, medium is 3, hard is 6, boss is 10. I just now realized that the actual number of little dots here is the experience, not just the difficulty rating. So that was cool. So we defeated 2 medium enemies, so we get 6 XP. Not much we can do with 6, but when we get to 10, then we'll be talking. For each of them, then we're rolling 2d6, and we're going to grab stuff off of the loot table. So these are kind of like a gradated difficulty. Like you could beat a hard enemy, roll 3d6, and only get 1s, and you'd get just an energy cell. But it unlocks, basically. No, don't do that, Adobe. It unlocks the higher tiers of rewards to the point where you can be getting 300 serum if you roll 666s. Or like entire random master hacks, all sorts of good stuff. And then if it's a boss, you roll on this table and this table. So you roll 3d6 to get here, and you get to roll on this one as well. We did not do that, so we're going to roll 2d6 twice. So we got a 10, which is great. 75 serum. Guys, we have money now. We have money for the first time. And a 4 is a random status cure. So let's go down to the quick tables. Where are you? Status cures, right here. So we're going to do a D10. Yeah, we've got the moolah now. And we got a free power gen. I don't remember what that does, but we'll look it up in a second. So let's go back to the equipment. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Power gen removes silence. So if we get cyber tech and somebody does try to counterspell us, we can counter the counter. Or we can remove silence from an ally. So that's handy. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think Owo took anybody off the board. Did he? He just softened them up, and then I blew up their brains. That's pretty much what happened there. Pretty graphic. Pretty graphic, if you think about it. Power gen removes silence, so we got that, and we got our money. And so that's our rewards, that's our experience. We also need to log all the stuff that whoever the woman is that we didn't create yet gave us for our faction mission. So we are back on this page. She gave us a gravity rifle. That's what it was. And 3 frag grenades. Which, again, we'll probably sell. Well, I don't know. We might get a crew member with a decent vigor that could be our grenade thrower. Yeah. I mean, he is distracted. Look at him dancing in the corner there. He's very distracting. He's a very distracting guy. Let's go find out what the gravity rifle does. It is somewhere here. It's cool, too, how they did equipment in this book. It's just all silhouettes. It's just kind of like, don't worry about the details. You'll be fine. So, gravity rifle is, oh, nice. It's the sniper, D12 plus grace. Well, we actually have one in grace, so that's not bad. Weapon mods are also really cool. There are weapon mods that'll say like bypass armor, which you can imagine would be very handy when they're taking 3 off of everything you do. D12 plus grace. But also this thing, I could sell it for 75 or scrap it for 75 because it's still not as good as our hack javelin, except that we have to hit with it, but you know. Yeah, you don't roll to hit in this game. You just deal damage. You spend the action, you deal the damage. Okay, I think we've sorted out all of our loot. It was flawless victory indeed. Here's your plasma shield, Hippo. Wait. There we go. +1 armor while equipped. D8 plus vigor for damage. So, let's come back over here and see what's next for us. Next move is probably going to be going straight to the Ursa Dome settlement down here because basically you walk into a settlement and you get healed up for free. Then we can actually refuel our ship. Finally, get that 20 fuel going. Oh, we've got to also put, because that specific event said that we need to put the Warg settlement on the map. So that goes here, the lowest available hex. And let me go grab my Warg flag. Put that guy right there. I always shrink them down to half size. You can dual... Well, that's a good question. You can dual wield weapons. You wouldn't be able to use them at the same action, but I think you could probably get the double armor. Maybe. You could also just get armor. as far as that goes. I mean, not anymore. We're not welcome. We're not welcome here anymore. I wonder if I could do something cute with this. I do know my Googles. I do know my Googles pretty well. Does that look cool though? It's already red. What makes us feel least welcome? Yellow for alert? I don't know. I'll just do this. Send that to the back. I probably should have just left it, because now it'll be annoying if it changes and I want to go back there again. ISF goes to -1. I have to check too. I think, do I get faction points for these missions? I definitely get the minus favor to ISF, but it does not say. I don't think I do, which is fine. Yeah. So there are different mission sheets as well. Let me go back here for a second. The side quests that we saw from the settlements are like how to get your foot in the door with a faction. But once you're actually in fit to width. Oh, we're doing double page again. Stop it. Single page. There we go. Once you're actually in the faction, which we are now, we're officially Warg revolutionaries now. You procedurally generate what missions you might want to pick up. So objective, you'll roll on a d10, and then you'll roll again for a location. That'll tell you where you have to go, which might tell you a certain number of tiles away that you have to go do this mission. You roll again for the complication that's going to happen. This is basically, you know, what you're going to be fighting, and then you roll one last time for the reward. So the reward, all of this becomes a little mission package that you do. You execute it, you get all the loot and the rewards from doing it, but you also get an additional favor. So you can never get soft locked out of like getting favor, is the idea. Like, let's say you fill up the map and you're like, there's nothing left for me to do to get more favor with Warg. It's like, no, you joined this faction, so you can go pick up these missions anytime. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool system. All right. What else? What other bookkeeping do we need to do? I guess we need to write down literally all of this that happened. So this is just a continuation of this. And I'll say, okay, I'll do my quiet typey thing and then I'll read it when I'm done. I could also say here that she doesn't kill them. I mean, damage is damage, but there is the narrative freedom for her to say that the javelin hack, basically, she just like shut their brains off and made them unconscious. So I think I'll do that. Because if and when she decides to kill in this campaign, it's probably going to come a little further down the road. And I don't know if her whatever commanding officer person is going to think about that, but they can keep them as prisoners of war. That's always a value in wartime. So we'll do it that way. If they had gone down to Owo's bullet fire, maybe I'd maybe I'd feel differently. But technically, both of those KOs came from Cadence. So, oh no, there we go. Okay, I said there's a moment where it looks like I'm going to go down to the soldiers' plasma shields, but with Owo up and harrying them with minigun fire, I find enough space to fire off that parasite hack we picked up from that cyber dive on Leo Oath. Once I'm in their neural networks, I already know it's over. From a prone position, I'm still easily able to isolate their minds one at a time and quite simply shut them down. I'm not sure how my CO, I guess that's what she is to me now, feels about leaving them breathing, but I inform her that POWs are a much better bargaining tool than bodies. She begrudgingly agrees, and we part ways with a handshake. Welcome to the revolution, she says. I'm still not sure how that makes me feel. But I do feel good having some actual money in the tank. Money means fuel, and fuel means keep going. I give Owo a pat on the head before he powers down in the cargo bay, and he trills with what I'm choosing to believe is happiness. We depart for Ursa Dome to refuel and heal up and see what the future holds. Okay. Onward. Making breakfast, listening to this music makes you sad. You're not floating around and pressing a bunch of big-ass buttons and levers to cook while looking slightly blurry. The lo-fi breakfast vibe. Is that what you're after? Noted. I think we have quite a few people that will die for Owo. Owo, the late-game drone that I'm probably not supposed to have at this point. You gotta love it. It'll be fun to see if we pick up a good, what's the word I'm looking for? Diegetic name for him in the game itself. Yeah, we love Owo. Okay, let's see here. We got money. We are going to spend another fuel to get back to Ursa Dome. Let's do this. Okay, guys, I'm doing it. Executive decision. I'm scraping off all of these trackers from the map because I don't want to find myself not tracking things accurately because I forget they're in 2 places. So as cool as they look, and as much work as I did on putting them there, oops, getting rid of them because I've made the call. More trouble than they're worth. That was back when I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to have the sheet on screen at the same time. Be gone, distracting cells. Okay, there. I made the call. So we get back to Ursa Dome. We're going to go back up to 20 health. We are, let's see, we go down to 13 fuel. So I'm going to buy 7 fuel, go back up to 20. And 7 by 3 is 21, so we're down to 55 serum. Oh, whoa, on-ship ward and Overwatch Android. Love it. Yeah. Well, he's got the name from the little. Here, let's look at his little face. It's from his operating system. What a guy. What a cute little guy. All right. What else do we have to do procedurally here, or mechanically, or whatever word I'm trying to find? We got all of our equipment. We've bought our fuel. We've healed. We're not going to be taking side quests with Synth Arc because now we are officially in Warg. Yeah. Oh, what was the best? We could start heading towards the Warg settlement, which actually, let's get a name for that while we're here. I think it's D20. So 4 and 19 gives us random tables. Cancer Field. That's a terrible name, and I'm literally going to re-roll it. I know it means the astrological cancer, but that's just not a great name. So we got a 19 again anyway, so it's going to be Gemini Field. There. I've finally officially ignored the rules for once. It's not really ignoring rules to re-roll things, but Gemini Field. Okay. And I literally don't have that on screen for you. Something's off with this. Why is it cut off so much? Oh well. I guess it's functional. Where to? And I guess the other question is, how much longer am I going to stream? Because I feel like I've got the marathon in me today. After that terrible start with my tech not working. You can be in multiple factions at the same time. You might find yourself in a position where you roll an encounter, and it might be, say, Synth Arc versus Warg. But even then, if you don't drop down to 2 or less, then you're not kicked out of the other one anyway. So, yeah, you can definitely be in 2. We are healed up. So anytime you go to any settlement, you get healed up for free. Oh, I see. You're making a joke, aren't you? Yeah. It's not a great vibe. Because we would be uttering that sentence at some point. Oh man. Yeah, I'm thinking we start to swing up here to the north, and we start to pick off and swing around and whatever we're able to do as far as what our capabilities are. Try and clear this area out. Go up through here like this, and then to Gemini Field, and then we've got basically the top half of the map left. So I'm feeling like we go here. And we do also have Icarus. So if we come up and then back down, we can zip through Icarus, go here, and then we're not wasting fuel. So that's my plan. which means it is time for a fresh encounter roll. Did I actually write up everything that happened? Almost did, because technically cycle 10 is us refueling. So let me get that in here. And what is Icarus? That's what this place is called. I should put that in there. Oh, you know what else I forgot earlier? When we were talking with Pearl, the lab tech mechanic that we're totally not into, I was going to roll on the NPC requests to see if there was something specific that she needed or was looking for, because that's our next potential way to get affinity with her. We could also roll up and be like, hey, I'm in your faction now. Let's figure out why you're so angry, and then maybe be less of a turnoff. She wants a data shard to decrypt a powerful computer terminal. Well, good luck with that. Data shards are, I think they're a specialty item. But I guess if we find one, we'll bring it to her. So let me put that in her little thing here. So basically our other things are going to be figuring out what she wants vengeance for and helping her with it, and then getting her a data shard. Totally not into. That's right. It's just like I said. There's nowhere there's smoke, there's fire going on here. Anyway, we might find somebody else that we want to date. You know, this is a dating sim after all. Data shard for what reason again? To decrypt I keep losing my spot on my screen. Powerful computer terminal. Let's wrap text on these. Okay. So, back here. New encounter roll. Let's get our 5d6 going. See if we can actually put on a date all the NPCs. Got the harem ship going. Already stepping out on your vegetable scientist. Risky move. Look. She doesn't own us, okay? We helped her out once. If she wants to make a move, she can. Let's see if we can get a ship combat one of these times. 25115. These dice are not that readable, I'll be honest with you. But they're cool. I think I showed these, right? These are like nebula kind of starry things, and they have the little glow-in-the-dark flecks in them. And I bought them explicitly for Astroprisma. I was like, I want something that says Astroprisma. Okay, so we got a 2. Let's get back to our feature focus scene here. 2. We are in the middle ring. Bam. And keeps going to the second page of 2, which is interesting. A 2 is a middle ring event. All right. Now we're talking. Let's see what here. So now we got a 5. So middle ring event means we're going to the page directly opposite. On an odd, we're looking at a star cruiser. On an even, we're looking at a research outpost. We got a 5 next, so that's odd. So we're looking at a star cruiser, and then we got a 1. So here's our prompt. Oh man, jeez, this is going to get complicated. Okay, a colossal weeping willow grows in the greenhouse sector of an ISF terraformer starship. You find a box of gene-altered terraforming seeds in the room. A computer terminal reveals that they were supposed to be replanted on a nearby Gaian planet. We were just on one. To restore its natural life, the planet is located 1 tile south according to your ship's navigation map. Finish the mission, go to the desert planet, and plant the terraforming seeds. Gives us +1 ISF favor. We can wipe out our negative. Being able to read dice is always a secondary concern. Not in some circles. Some circles I know they would fight you on that, Alejandra. It would fight you to the death. Oh, man. I should look up. I should actually get the name, though, and I'll start putting them in my descriptions, what I use. Because there's something Nebula. I think I threw away the little card. It's just a Chess X set, you know. Okay, what do we want to do here? We could put another Gaian planet on the map, but I think it's too perfect that we already have a Gaian planet that we haven't explored yet. So I'm going to say that is the Gaian planet, Icarus, the one 2 tiles to our south. So now we can take these terraforming seeds that we found from this ship, which something bad happened to it. We should ask that question. Star Cruiser. Oops. Let's put that here. We'll get our little... Oh my gosh, I'm jumping all over the place. I feel like when I'm holding down buttons in Google stuff, it only half the time does what it's supposed to. ISF. That doesn't really show up very well, so we'll put that there. We're going to name this ship. We're going to ask what happened to it. Or do we say that this was the attack coordinates that we intercepted that we chose not to warn ISF about? I think we're going to do that. So we're complicit here. Whoops. But then we can go plant their terraforming seeds and get favor back with them, which is undeniably a good move. We don't need to be sitting at -1 factor with anybody. -1 favor, I mean. So, okay, let's name this ship. Get to the tables. 44. Oh, man. It's called Messiah, too. Jeez. I need a color that's going to stand out on black and yellow. Alejandro, you would know this. You know color theory, presumably. What do I want that's going to stand up on black and yellow? That kind of works. Nope. Well, I need something that's not too warm, right? I'm thinking this through as I'm doing it. I need a cool color to be opposite the color wheel. What is opposite yellow on the color wheel anyway? I know this. My brain's not giving it to me, though. Red, yellow, blue, purple. So I was right. My instincts were right. Cool. Nailed it. That's readable enough. Do we know everything we need to know here? We do. So now it's just time to type it up. Got a nice tree in it too. That's cool. Teal might have worked, yeah. It might have done. Okay, let's get back to typing mode. And we go here, and we go... Oh, I didn't even finish filling this out. I got distracted. Quick pit stop at Ursa Dome to refuel and heal up, and then we're on to cycle 11. We are in the inner ring for once. Inner ring 3. And we got... Oh no, guys, no! I can't let this stand. We messed up. Shoot. I was on the wrong table. I went to the middle ring table, and we're supposed to be on the inner ring table. But we still know the die results, so I gotta respect the dice. I gotta walk it back. You hate to see it. Inner ring event. Odd is a solar flare. Result 1. Okay, that's a good thing I didn't type all that out yet. That would have been embarrassing. Redo. Yeah. Delete. 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 It's the integrity of the thing, you know? Space anomaly, yeah. We briefly entered a quantum field where this cell was actually two different things at the same time, and then we came out. Solar flare. Generally a bad thing, but we'll see how bad it is. So we've got bring event, odd, solar flare, and the result of 1. So what happens to us now? As you approach the area, your temperature indicators start peaking. Metal panels on the exterior of your ship change color and shine with an orange and yellow tint. Your starship won't be able to sustain this for much longer. Roll vigor. No, not vigor. Oh, not vigor. Success. You are able to remain conscious in the extreme heat and escape. +1 hyperdrive, please. Please. Failure. Your ship is heavily damaged by the solar flare. Lose 6 hull. Oh, that's not even that big of a deal. So this is all pretty much all upside, no downside. We can easily restore hull. But let's hope we don't have to. Okay, let's go for it. Challenge roll. So it's basically flat D10 versus D10, but we've got to beat it. So we're at 40% chance success. Or whatever that means. No. 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 Well, we rolled a 9, which is great. But it rolled a 9, which means we fail. Dang it. Okay. All right, well, coming out of... I have a reason for why this happened. Coming out of Ursadome, I realized too late my carelessness. This fits her character, too. She's, her keyword is velocity. Coming out of Ursadome, I realized too late my carelessness. My high from the recent tactical victory. And my urgency to reach, what's it called? Not Cancer Field. Gemini Field. And figure out what this whole warg thing will mean for me. Before I know it, my sensors are blaring. All right, coming out of Ursadome, I realized too late my carelessness, my high from the recent tactical victory, and my urgency to reach Gemini Field and figure out what this whole warg thing will mean for me. Before I know it, my sensors are blaring, and the SlipShot takes the brunt of an explosive solar flare, weakening her panels and sending us careening away as fast as our boosters will take us. Stupid, I think. Careless. Gotta slow down. Always one step away from death out here. And that is a solar flare. So, let's go down here now. We can, I mean, fuel's not that expensive. It might be worth just going back through Ursadome to get the hull restored for free. Or I could just use... I think you can use scraps to repair. I should find that in the book too. Ship stuff, ship stuff. I know it's written here somewhere. Yeah, hull and health all get restored for free when you go to a settlement, which mechanically is telling you how dangerous everything else is. If they're giving you free healing, that's telegraphing like you're going to need this. I don't remember where they have the little rules text about repairing. I will say, as beautiful as this book is, sometimes there's little rules text that's just kind of tucked away in places you don't expect, and that can be a challenge, but when you're familiar with it, it's really not a problem. It's just when you haven't played in a while. Maybe it's here in the Starship sheet. Mods, hull. So here we go. Scraps can be used to restore your starship's hull. You can choose to spend 20 scraps to restore D6 plus tech hull. During space combat, this action can be performed once per turn by paying the scrap cost and consuming an action die. There's kind of a part of me that thinks, you know, we're going to have so many action die if we actually get in a space fight anyway, that we could just do this on the spot and we don't have to do it now. There's another part of me that says, do you want this campaign to end, you stupid dummy? Just go heal your ship. So I'm going to listen to that voice. We're going to swing back through Ursa Dome. We're going to heal up for full, and then we're going to go here. I don't know why I belabored that so much. Well, I do. Because it's silly. We keep going in and out of this settlement every 5 seconds. So we spent 2 fuel in that little journey, and while we're there, we're just going to refuel it. We're going to top off, so that'll take 6 out, and we'll be at 49, and then now we're into the cell we wanted to be in 2 anyway. That's what we're going to do. That was cycle 12. We're in cycle 13, and we are now in middle ring 11. And once again, rolling the exploration dice. All right, it's 11:30 on my end. We'll probably go till noon. We might not play that whole time. We might just drop the game off and just chat for a little bit. But we'll see what happens to us here. Maybe we'll be inspired to keep going. 63554. That's another settlement. So all the settlements seem to be down in this part. So this is either going to be a Corsair settlement or a Medusa. That's a 1. So 1 goes to Corsair. Space pirate time. Oh no, my ship fell apart. All right. I had a game that was very similar to this, where like I had all 5 settlements on the map just in one spot. But that's all right. All right, let's name this place. This one can be named Cancer or something. Oh, I was looking for a second D20 and realized I don't have one. 18 and 3. All right, iPad, do your magic. Crater Dome. They like domes in this part of space, clearly. And I also can't spell. Boldface, yes. And let's grab ourselves a little Corsair flag. I've never done a playthrough where I've been involved with Corsair, but if you want to be like a murder hobo, that's the faction for you. Yeah. I don't know why it just got solar flared right next to them, but you know, maybe that's just a me problem. Okay, Crater Dome. We don't necessarily need or want to do anything in here right now, I don't think. We could go into the cybersphere. We don't really need to. Our next kind of thing is we want to continue to gain favor with Warg so that we can get to their second faction mission. And other than that, continue to explore the map. So it's not, no, murder hoping is not much of a London thing. That's why I'm kind of interested to see, like, if I got a Corsair run going and I was like, okay, just turn the brain off, just create a character who's just been victimized and bullied by everyone and just try and make them justify their horrible actions as much as you can. Yeah. I have played quite a few times with Warg. It just keeps happening. And then I think one time, one of my playthroughs, I ended up half synth, half Medusa. And then I was able to recruit both of the specialist crew members from their faction. And they had like this interplay of abilities that I actually went back to like a settlement, stripped the entire spaceship down to scraps and bought an entirely new spaceship that just fit their abilities. And I could just like mow down anything that I came across. It was insanely powerful. All right. Well, that was a quick jaunt. Let's log it. So we would have gotten healed up for free if we had just gone straight here anyway. Just realized that. Oh well. So I'm writing another settlement in this part of space. Makes me wonder what the draw is to this region. Seems like it might be a powder keg for conflict, if you ask me. It is nice that Warg's settlement is a little further away. I do appreciate that. Once we have one of each settlement on the map, you can continue to reveal them, and you can have then, from that point forward, multiple settlements of the same faction. But statistically, you're only going to see a total of 6 on average. So we'll see. And let's fly on. So we're down 2 more fuel already. Well, let's say 1. Let's say I just bought fuel there as well. I might regret this later, but whatever. I like keeping the ship full. What else? Let's see, our mind is no longer boosted. So we'll get rid of that. And we're doing an exploration roll again. Four, 1, 6, 2, 6. And we're going to go to the right screen this time. The outer ring encounters. And we got a neutral encounter. This game just does not want us to fight things in space. It just does not want to. Okay, so neutral encounter, which means you go straight to page 71. So I haven't shown you guys this page yet. There is an entire subsection, a 2-page spread for hostile encounters, and then a 2-page spread for neutral encounters. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. So these pages only have results from 2 to 6. If you roll a 1, you basically just leave it blank and you come back to it again in the future. So that just kind of like delays things. And my next die was a 1. So that means nothing happens here. So let's grab ourselves something we want to represent a neutral tile, like this yellow. But what we'll do, I think is what you're supposed to do, is we'll flag it as a neutral encounter. So if we come back through here, which we probably will. Oh, we should have gone to Icarus before going here. Oh, it actually kind of works out that this was neutral and it didn't have anything, because now we can go down to Icarus Explorer, come back through here and try and get the encounter on the way back through. So that's what we'll do. That actually worked out all right. So now we're down to 18 as we go on back to Icarus. And we'll just call this neutral the best font for this either. Okay, so now we're back to Icarus. And now we can actually explore this planet. Let's go to our journey log. Sometimes this goes like really fast, and sometimes you spend a lot of time in a single cycle. So outer, 25, neutral, no encounter. So we're on to cycle 15, and we're at outer 26. Oh my gosh, my fingers are not working. Okay. So, we're back to Icarus. And we need to find out both our landing site and our encounter. Landing site is a 3, encounter is a 1, thank God. All right, back to the screen here. Gaian planets. Again, Gaian planets are dry and rocky, with sand deserts taking up most of the surface. Despite their arid nature, they were extensively settled by the ancient galactic empires due to the precious jewels found below surface level. Many Gaian planets were terraformed, including introducing water and plant life into their ecosystem. And something went wrong. All right. So our results were 3 and 1. I just got myself confused. Okay. So, this particular one, there is a crack in the side of a cliff which reveals an underground city carved into the rock. That's cool. I've never got that result before. I like that. All right, let's see what the encounter is before I write up how I want to contextualize that. Da-da-da. Oh, that seems hazardous and not a good thing to see as your title. Sinking into quicksand. The desert dunes expand from horizon to horizon. Their curved shapes move with the wind, crashing into each other like waves in a turbulent ocean. Suddenly, you feel your feet sinking into the ground. You are trapped in quicksand, and every moment pushes you further down. Roll grace. On a success, we jump to safety, avoiding being swallowed by the swirling sands, and we get 1 hyperdrive. Please. On a failure, we lose 5 health and 3 energy. Not too bad. Not too much at risk here. Well, let's see. At least we have a +1, so we're basically on even footing. Yeah, I'm very interested in the underground city. We fail. We fail, we fail, we fail. And we lose 5 health and 3 energy. Dang. I gotta do some thinking here because I did not track my energy back up. So we were at 11 energy coming off of Icarus the first time. Then we went up to Ursa Dome, up to the solar flare, down to Ursa Dome, back to Crater Dome, back here. So we should be at full energy. Ain't no way we're not back to full. Oh, minus the 3 we just lost. 17. Yeah, I was thinking that too. That the quicksand might be related to maybe why parts of the city are underground. Because they had to go deep into the bedrock or something itself. Energy just naturally restores 3 every cycle. So it just comes back normally. There are items that can give it back because like we might blow through a lot in an encounter. So we have 2 energy cells that restore D6 plus tech energy if we need to. Okay, we just keep failing out here. So here we go in our log. Do the quiet typey type. Well, that's not cool. I was just typing up this huge paragraph, and then my connection to Google Sheets went out. And I can't Control Z to get back what I was writing either. It was lengthy. It was cool. Why are you not connected? Hey, Pepper. How's it going? We've been doing quite well for ourselves out here in space. But I just lost a bunch of writing. I can redo it. It won't take that long, but I gotta refresh the sheet, maybe? Well, you know, we gotta be setting records every day, right? I always conceived of that I would hold like the time from 8 to noon on my time, but version history probably doesn't have it because I was still actively typing, so I don't think the cell has a record of everything I put into it because I hadn't hit enter yet. But I'm gonna reload it. We'll see. It's not gonna be here. I'm positive. Yeah. Let's check the version history though. Good idea, Hippo. Oh, there's a version from today right now. Yeah, no. Just missed it. Okay, that's fine. You can retype. It's spicy. It's cool. It's cool, the stuff that I came up with. I don't know if you guys saw, I was rolling a couple dice to answer some questions as I went. So, anyway, another prolonged silence as I retype it. Here we go. Round 2. A little teaser, though. We are going to go meet up with Pearl after this because reasons. Let's put this actually up here. You'll see. I came up with some plot here. It's interesting. They're about vengeance. Okay? Just vengeance and nothing else. Vengeance bonding is definitely that's a term. That's for sure. That's a term and a half. Okay. So, I said that coming out of Crater Dome and going through this neutral space, heading out, there's an unexplored quadrant that I may as well see before heading up to Gemini Field. Space out here on the outer ring is quiet, almost too quiet. I figure while we're here, I'll take a look at Icarus once more, see what else is going on in this deserted rock. Didn't expect to find a whole underground city, one tucked into a cleft in the rock. It occurs to me that a city of this size, losing its entire population, might be enough to radicalize someone who might take such umbrage to a faction like Warg. The Oracle did indicate this was a Warg city, which isn't actually a thing, but that's what I got out of that. I guess the terraforming didn't hold, or wasn't sustained. Either way, it's a ghost city now, and nothing of real value in there that I can tell. What's left is rusted or corroded beyond use. And then I said, Cadence doesn't know this, but I did ask the Oracle, did ISF intentionally use terraforming technology to harm this city? And the answer was no, but. So I went with that it was entirely within their ability to save this city, but Icarus, the planet itself, just simply wasn't of good trade route value to the Federation, and so they let the city die. So now we're going to go talk to Pearl about if she knows anything about that. But before that, I also have to sink into some quicksand. All right. To top off the inhospitability, I find myself sucked into a quicksand pit while exploring. It takes my every ounce of concentration to get out of it. Drained, exhausted, and with questions I'd love answers to, I stumble back onto the SlipShot and hail the sisterhood on my comms. I have some questions for Pearl. And that's where we're going to end today. Cliffhanger. Yes, indeed. That was a good session. We filled out quite a bit more of the map here. Remember, we only had these 4 cells when we started today, so we filled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. Actually got some money. We've got fuel in the ship, so that's good. Let's make sure our fuel is correctly tracked before we head out. 18 is correct. That's what we should be at. Yep. Had to do it to him. Had to do the cliffhanger. Let's see, our faction scores are currently accurate. That's our serum, our health, and our energy went down because of the stupid quicksand. But we should be fine. Energy is going to go right back up next time we move anywhere. And I think that's the bookkeeping all done and dusted. This is a sheet that I'm not using anymore, so I'm going to delete it. We won our first combat. It was a little tense there in the middle, but we got there. And that is everything we have today for the Astroprisma. So we'll let the good walk music play again. Everybody loves that. Close all these tabs so my computer can like breathe again. Yeah, it was a good session. We got quite a bit done. It's been good. It's been a good time hanging out with you guys playing Astroprisma. If you guys ever have any questions about the game, as you have done all stream, feel free to ask. If anybody's picking this up on a VOD and you have questions about the game, ask them in the comments. If you have more questions about the game or anything else and you want to join our Patreon community, the link is down there in the stuff, and it's also on the screen in the stuff, and it's a great group of people. You've seen them here chatting with me, a lot of them, and we're just out here having a good time, supporting each other, doing what we can do to make life vibrant and fun, and use these games and this hobby as a way to explore, experience things, ask questions, and question the answers. It's a good time. I had a lot of fun in the community that we are building. Again, if you didn't catch I guess, news of the channel, I am launching a Legend in the Mist play-by-post campaign. I've already got 7 players displaying interest. There might be more coming, so we'll figure out how we want to juggle that. If we want to do, you know, little micro groups and roll through them, or if somebody else wants to step up in GM, so we've got 2 going at the same time, and comparing notes, which I think could be fun. Yeah, that is available on the London Station Patreon. $3 is the... not technically, $1 is technically the lowest tier. $3 is the tier where you get pretty much everything that you would need on the Discord. There's other stuff above and beyond that. Feel free to read it and see if it's of interest to you. But that's great. Please, if you could, I think I managed to keep this one broadcast going through all of the crap at the beginning. So I'm going to trim that out, and the stream will shorten by another half hour. But please, if you can, like the stream. Leave comments if you have any for engagement reasons. Do that hype thing that I mentioned the other day. If you're watching this on a VOD on a phone, there's a little thing. It's like, hype this video. Hit that because that can't hurt. What else? Share this with your friends and whatever. I forgot again to put this on the Astroprisma Discord that I was doing this, so I will do better at that. I will be communicating. You'll hear when Astroprisma is open to non-backers. Because that's going to be a big piece of news, and it, as far as I can tell, you guys are enjoying this enough for me to keep doing it. So I will continue to do Astroprisma streams. Maybe they'll just be our Saturday morning streams for the near future. I do not know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, so I still get to decide that. What else? Oh, of course, I know what I'm forgetting. Let me pull this back up. That goes there. This goes here. See if any of our friends are doing anything today. Okay, so the duo are at it, Cheeky and Zachary, and they're doing shared chat. So whatever they're doing it together. Cheeky is doing something, strengthening the keep, and Zachary is drawing tabletop RPG art while Cheeky solo games. So I think we went to Zachary last time, so let's copy the link to Cheeky. If anybody would care to follow me over there, Cheeky's a good friend. She's always reposting and sharing my Blue Sky posts about when I'm going live and everything, so I appreciate that greatly. Gonna head over there. Other than that, have a great Saturday. Thank you all for your patience with the technical challenges today. We got there in the end, and at least, you know, like Hippo was saying, it's better to do a restart early than late. So, Hippo, you'll be following the campaign. Yeah, it's, you know, it's all time management. We can't all do everything we want to do. And Pepper, yeah, we'll be in touch. If you got the bandwidth for it, we'll explore it. If not, that's fine. That's totally fine. We can do multiple groups in a row, so I'm not worried about people not getting a shot. They will get a shot one way or another. I think I'll probably take them, the 7 that I have right now, and I will say, hey, like, be honest with yourself and with me. How active do you plan to be? And then I want to match the groups up by activity level, because it's tough with play-by-post sometimes when you have new people coming into it. If you have people who are highly active and they're able to post multiple times a day, and then you have the person who posts once a day, that's okay, but you don't want those people together necessarily. That can get frustrating. So we'll negotiate that as we go. I'm not in any space ready to run that anyhow. So I think that's probably enough rambling from me so far. No song today. I can still feel it's definitely like in the upper lungs. You know, I can just feel it. So maybe I'll sing a song tomorrow. I don't know. But it's been a great time. Thank you for hanging out, listening to me ramble on and on and on as I go. And I'm going to go head over to Cheeky's stream. The link is there in the description if you would be so kind to come along with me and just say hi, and then you can log off. That's fine. But they like to hear from people in the community out here. So I'm going to hit the stream ending screen. We'll go over there, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Love you all, and I'll see you on London Station. Bye.